sun has sort of gone down behind the stadium, as it were. We can see the main the electronic scoreboard is still lit up in sunshine, but in the middle, not good, and that might well be it for the day. It's been offered. Boucher and Cronje happy to go. Sun shines on the stand on the far side of the ground, but where they're actually playing, the light would obviously be as it was when they last went off, I would say, and that's probably what Brian Lara is asking Cyril Mitchley. Probably saying to me,
absolutely perfectly balanced, and we're really in for a fantastic day's cricket. Let's take a look then at the highlights of the third day.
Courtney Walsh, but here he is with the first ball of the third day to Mark Boucher. Now that's got past mid-on, be more than one here. Certainly 3, but it is in fact 4.
Yes, well played from Mark Boucher. It's a full toss for sure, but he does well to guide it past mid-on. That's the end of the over, 223 for 6. Yes, Nixon McLean in this over, just straying a couple of times now down that leg side. Always an element of luck that this goes fine enough. The leg glance, when you get the boundary, you can't intentionally play it as fine as that.
Ball. Gold.
One thing about Boucher, he's always very positive in his movements at the wicket, generally.
That's in the air and out. Top edge. It was an unnecessary shot, really. We're just 3 overs away from a new ball. It's always a risk, especially against the leg spinner. Off spinner, not such a risk. And Boucher perishes.
Yes, sometimes habits of one-day cricket creep into the test match game. And as you said, Robin, probably not the best shot to play in this situation. Always a chance that the top edge might come into play. Leg spinner playing against the spin.
So South Africa now 229 for 7. Boucher out for 12. Tremendous roar from the crowd as Pat Simcox comes into bat. Oh, that's well bowled. Now that's interesting. He's given it not out. There was cries of catch it to start with. If he didn't nick it, did it hit the pad?
Well,
so was it straight?
Definitely a noise, Robin. And initially I thought maybe it didn't carry to the keeper, but I think it just bounced.
Check whether he hit it first. Yep, looks like he might have got a little scratch on that. Not out, says umpire Shepherd, and over 230 for 7. Out, inside edge, back onto the off stump, and that is a big breakthrough for the West Indies. Cronje goes, and now I think they might take the new ball.
Well, this is a crucial blow for the West Indies, and Hansie Cronje must be devastatingly disappointed because he's grafted hard, and I'm sure he would have liked to push on with another 20 or 30 himself. But Ambrose rewarded for some extremely accurate bowling throughout this innings. He's out for 41, and South Africa now 230 for 8.
Alan Donald makes his way to the middle, and he knows that not every delivery is going to be in his half. And a huge appeal. I thought I heard the ball hit the stumps. No? Did well to get forward, first up. Good bowling too, full length.
Good bowling, and what saves him is that I think he manages to get just outside the line of the off stump, and you actually do hear umpire Cyril Mitchley explaining that to the bowler.
Just in the air a moment, but past the short leg Philo Wallace, and they're able to get 2 runs. Oh, that's a nasty one. This is the problem for somebody like Alan Donald, who's not really equipped to face up to this sort of thing. Great fast bowlers with, of course, the new ball, and the danger for South Africa is that he might have hurt that bowling hand.
Yes, he's really in a bad position, and it got on the end of the fingers. Now we're seeing a lot of batsmen these days wearing that extra padding to protect the index finger and the middle finger of the right hand. Watch what happens here. He gets into a terrible position. The ball doesn't bounce at all, but he leaves his hand there, and that's exactly where it hits. So now he's got some discomfort.
Oh, he's given that a belt. Nothing wrong with his hand with that. Forward to Donald.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gerald, about X-rays and that type of thing. It's just a little knock on the thumb. Bang through the offside, full swing of the bat, had the width to go for it, and clobbered it.
Just short or taken. They're claiming the catch. Umpires Shepherd and Mitchley are going to consult. Donald is standing. Ridley Jacobs believes he's got it, and umpire Mitchley asked for the replay.
Wonderfully taken. Whatever the outcome is, wonderfully taken. Got the glove under it, and it looks pretty good from that replay. What a wonderful catch by Ridley Jacobs. The third umpire will have to determine. We'll have another look here.
Very low, dying all the time, but Ridley Jacobs seems to have got his glove underneath it. That is just a fantastic athletic take. Clutches it to his body. Now, third umpire Rudy Kutsen called into action for the first time to make this decision, and that's just out of the shot for him. There he goes. Seems to be there.
Yeah, he seems to have got it.
Yes, he has.
What a wonderful catch. He took one yesterday down the leg side. Ridley Jacobs coming into the test side at the age of 31. They've tried a number of wicket keepers, and congratulations for him all round. You will not see a better wicketkeeper's catch than that. Donald goes for 7. It's 243 for 9.
David Terbrugge is 21. He bowled with great confidence and composure, but now he comes out as South Africa's last man. Oh, he's hit that well, Simcox. The fielders are all out in the deep, and Simcox can comfortably take 2. Oh, that's in the air. Is there someone underneath it? No. Drops into no man's land. Lara coming in from deep mid-wicket.
So 15 love to Pat Simcox and a single.
Firm drive, they're going to go for a few here. In fact, they'll get 4. Terrific shot.
Walsh didn't agree with you, but it really was And if you are going to keep the strike and not take the singles, the best way to keep the strike is hit fours.
There are a few better players down this end of the order in this type of situation than Pat Simcox. He's done it for many, many years for every side he's played for. He'll take one here.
No!
Well played. Well, it's fun and games at this end of the innings. 251 for 9. Again, no run taken. Oh, well played. He's dug that out and it stayed in the crease. Well, no one else is going to come and fetch it.
It's the best entertainment the crowd have had for the day. Pat Simcox in with the last man, and Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh trying their damnedest to remove him.
Pat Simcox is engaging a little chatter with one or two of the commentators through the stump microphone, having a chat with his former teammate Fani de Villiers.
He had 10 no balls yesterday. That's his first today, Ambrose.
And Tebruga wants to get off the mark in Test cricket. Simcox says no. Well, there's an illustration of that. One ball left in the over now. And he dealt with that very well, David Tebruga. Sets off, wants his first run. Simcox says no, no, no. He's got that one away. And 4. Well, well, well. It's the captain down at backward square leg. Beg your pardon. Apologies.
Floyd Reefer, in fact, it is. Substitute. And really a bad miss. Not only has he given away 4 here, but also he's allowed Simcox to keep the strike because they were running. Whether they would have continued with it is another matter. But it really was a slack piece of fielding by the substitute.
Now they'll take it. Simcox might even be tempted into a second. He'll be risking it. Ooh. I think it's Pat Simcox having a laugh there as well. Oh, sharp turn.
Well, he's heaved that away. And he's put him down at long on. And I've got confused with the running in the meantime, so for the first time it leaves Tebruga with 5 balls to face, but the bottom line is that should have been out.
Almost never had to move 1 meter, Nixon McLean, and then suddenly it dropped, and Curtly Ambrose is not a happy man. But in the meantime, as Robin says, the batsmen have got a bit confused. Pat Simcox was almost on his way, and now David Tebruga is having to face.
Tebruga off the mark. Not that he wasn't off the mark twice before, but Simcox had to turn him down. His first run in Test cricket.
It's always a special moment. And frustration is enormous for Curtly Ambrose. Really respectable looking stroke.
Oh, that's well bowled and very well played.
It was an incredibly good Yorker. This fury of Curtly Ambrose now being unleashed. And that really was venomous. It was so quick. Look at it, dug out there brilliantly. Would have broken his toe if it hadn't lifted his leg to dig it out.
He wants the second. Well, I don't know whether you heard what I heard.
That must have been Afrikaans as well.
Simcox wanted two very badly, and Terbrugge rightly turned it down because he wouldn't have got back for two, and Patrick was a little upset.
All of our statisticians behind us here have been asking me why they don't try and get twos, and this is exactly the reason. When the batsman hits the ball towards the outfield like that, you never know quite how quickly the field is going to get in or the ball is going to run to him, and then you don't get the two, and suddenly the pressure is back on.
No, yes, two. Terbrugge's taken over.
Well, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. The one thing about David Terbrugge, he's got confidence. It's 266 for 9.
This will be tight. He's in. That might be out. I think it'll be... No, not even referred. Simcox knows as well. So it all ends in a run-out in the end, and rather sadly so. Umpire Mitchley gives it without referral. And Simcox had no problem with it. And this is why it's way short.
Yes, unfortunate that, wasn't it? Because the innings were starting to look very exciting. And David Terbrugge was playing so nicely, but now South Africa all out for 268.
Details of the South African innings in pursuit of West Indies 261, and I think they'll, generally speaking, be disappointed that they didn't get a greater lead than that. Contributions from Kirsten, 62. Cullis played beautifully for his 53. Dogged performance from Cronje on 41 there, and contributions in the lower order, but nothing that substantial. But a useful last wicket partnership between Simcox and Terbrugge. Those are the partnerships. 92, the one of significance, Kirsten and Cullis, and then nothing really significant from there on. And to get a decent lead, that's what South Africa required. West Indies bowlers, just 4 of them used. Lewis did a very good stop job for Brian Lara, but the pick, of course, Courtney Walsh going past Malcolm Marshall's record. 4 for 66, Walsh. McLean, I should say, 2 for 66, and Ambrose, good support with 2 for 63. So there is the match situation. West Indies all out 261. South Africa a modest lead of just 7 runs. We pick up the action now in the second over of the West Indies second innings.
Well, that's a fine stroke. Wide of off stump, and really he didn't need to play it, but he did, and he gets a beautiful boundary just behind square on the offside. Look at that. Full flow of the arms.
This is past Jonty Rhodes, and it's going to be too much, I think, for Simcox. Well, he's done well to get a hand to it, but I think it's going to be adjudicated as a 4. In fact, Simcox doesn't even bother to wait for umpire Mitchley.
Good effort from Pat Simcox. Nicely tied by Lambert. Doesn't try and hit it too hard. Just waits for it to come to him.
It will have to be bad light that decides it, and that was a fearsome delivery from Sean Pollock to end his over. We'll have a look at it in a moment. 15 for no wicket.
This is a good, well-directed bouncer. He's straight over off stump and high enough that if he actually didn't bail out and tried to hit it, he would have really got into trouble and would have had great difficulty in trying to keep it down.
He didn't bail out very well. He started to get the head under it, but he left the gloves up there and hammered very hard. And that's gone for 4 runs. Raced past Jonty Rhodes, and he sort of indicated that he hadn't really seen it. It was brilliantly cracked.
Yes, and I think that's well, it's either a good active performance from Jonty Rhodes, but it's caused the umpires to get together again and discuss the light, and I'd be very surprised if they don't go off now.
Well, all the players ask for from the umpires is consistency. They went off yesterday for bad light when the sun slipped behind a very big cloud, and then they eventually came out again when the sun once more came out. There's no prospect of the sun coming through here at the moment. The light meter up again, and I think this time he is going to offer it to the batsmen. So, well, the crowd don't like it. They've come here to enjoy themselves and to watch some action, but you really cannot blame the batsman on this occasion for accepting it. Nothing wrong with the way he saw that, though.
No, but he's got the benefit of the side screen, and everybody who's not such as the point fielder, obviously it's a different story for him, but he certainly gives that a crack.
Covers being dragged out. It hasn't started raining yet, but I'd like to get the covers on before it comes, because I think when it does come, it'll come in a downpour.
The clouds have been building up from mid-morning, flooding the ground and preventing any further play on the 3rd day. Well, going into the 4th day, this match beautifully poised. The West Indies didn't lose any further wickets, 20 for no wicket. To bat on, run scoring is at a premium here. The West Indies then 20 for no wicket. Let's pick up highlights of this 4th day with the first ball of the day.
Now we're ready for the first ball of the 4th day's play.
Alan Donald from the golf course end to Philo Wallace. Immediately Philo Wallace flashes at it. Not a very good shot first up on this 4th day. Jonty Rhodes at backward point is quickly onto that one. Oh, he's bowled off the inside edge. Sean Pollock strikes again, his 6th wicket in the Test match, and he's got Philo Wallace in his very first over on this 4th day. Off the inside edge, and Wallace is gone for 14.
Poor stroke here from Wallace. Difficult to determine what he was attempting. It's a pretty good length ball, and he's going back with a cross bat, looking to force it through the onside from outside the off stump. Not dissimilar to the way that Hansie Cronje got out yesterday to Curtly Ambrose, and Walsh Wallace goes, and once more the arm pumping Sean Pollock has struck for South Africa. 24 for 1. Wallace goes for 14.
The great Brian Lara, West Indian captain, to the wicket. Buzz around the ground the moment he stepped onto the field. This is cracked away backward a square, but the 3rd man is fairly square himself, so he can get around. Here comes the throw, and it's not too bad at all from the new man Tabruka. This is played very well indeed by Lara. Through the covers off the back foot, and it's a long chase for Jonty Rhodes. He'll get there, but Lara will get 3. Well, unfortunately, that immediately means that the gully's going to go back into the covers. And in order to compensate, the second slip is going to gully. So one good shot by Lara, and suddenly the field has changed again. Lara had a go at that one, and it was up in the air for a moment. I think it came off the thigh pad.
Yes, it did. Pirouetting there to try and put it down to The backward square ball onto him. Perhaps the extra bounce as well. The bounce hasn't been all that consistent on this pitch. But with the angle, Lara into the shot. And, well, perhaps not misjudging the bounce. Because he seemed to be in position for it. Just got it in the thigh pad, perhaps playing a little bit too late.
Oh, a big peel for LBW. And he's gone. Now, it looked as though that kept a bit low, and you were talking about the variable bounce, Tony, and that seemed, it was a very fast delivery. It forced him on the back foot, turned him a bit square, and I think it kept a bit low. And Brian Lara is LBW for 7. A big blow for the West Indies, huge strike for Donald.
And really, absolutely no doubt about that, whatever. On the back foot, within the crease. Donald putting him on the back.
Comes to the wicket, top scorer in the first innings with a very studied 74. He goes past the outside edge. That wasn't a very good shot from Chanderpaul. It ends an exciting over at 33 for 2.
Pulled away and over mid-wicket for 4. And that's going to be the secret of batting on this pitch. When you get half a chance to score, capitalise.
Absolutely. This really wasn't a terrible delivery. It was slightly short and beautiful shot. But of course, you must remember, Clayton Lambert's stance is almost preparing him for that kind of a stroke. He's very strong on it, partly because he's so open in his stance.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled as well. Oh, well bowled. Now, did he play that or didn't he? I'm going to suggest he did.
You're saying that he pulled the bat away too late. Let's watch this one. You can see he's trying to square up a little bit and he plays inside the line. I say he didn't.
I agree with you. And he does a maiden 37 for 2. Oh, he goes. I was about to say, well, unless he got bat on that, that's out. We presume he didn't, because umpire Shepherd says that's out. Pollock strikes. West Indies now in trouble.
What a magnificent delivery. Once again, he was shuffling back, and this time the ball held its line. And watch here, beautiful ball, straightening on him slightly, but inside the inside edge of the bat, hit him above the knee roll, but he was so far back that there was no doubt in the umpire's mind. Shandup goes for 1.
West Indies in their second innings, 38 for 3. Stuart Williams, who's come in to bat. No Carl Hooper just yet. He was scheduled to come in now, but Hooper, once he was out in the first innings, we haven't seen him since.
Now changing the bowling from the golf course end, David Tebruga.
Pulled away, wide mid on. Chase for Donald.
His warm-up delivery, and he just spooned it away. He didn't really put too much into it.
Oh. Yeah, Rhodes, this is interesting. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Let's have another look at that.
That certainly is worth more than another look. Absolute brilliance again by Jonty. And he pushes it perfectly into the gap. Says, yeah, there's no question. He's going to the wrong side. And look how fast he turns and then lets it go. And he would have just been in.
It's a little width and driven by Williams to deep backward point. And 2 runs to Stuart Williams. Well, that's hit well, and that is going to go down to deep backward point for 4 runs. He really gave that a crack. A little too much width.
Ishakala sometimes is a bit guilty, no matter what his figures might say. End of the over, 48 for 3.
Oh, a little spite off the pitch there. Bottom hand onto the glove, and another excellent effort from Ter Brugge. 49 for 3. Big appeal.
I think just outside the off stump there. As commentators, we're very judgmental on umpires, normally after the third extra slow action replay, but first reactions is that's just outside the off stump.
Very just, though. There's pad first and then bat, I think. Well, he's really keeping it tight.
This one has hit him a little bit on the move, Gerald, so it might have, I think it might have been closer to hitting him in line with the stumps, but there is quite a lot of movement, latish movement, although it straightens, and I mean, that's not too bad. I think Ter Brugge didn't really get into the action with a big appeal.
You see there's certainly pad and bat. Oh, that is well bowled. But Lambert played inside.
This is nicely driven, but very nicely fielded by that short cover.
And this is just the sort of thing that will encourage David Ter Brugge. He's bowling now for that, and batsman looking for the gap. Now, the moment he starts to play the shot in anger, there's a better chance for the bowler to get a wicket.
That's cracked away, and that will, I think, go for 4. Not even Jonty Rhodes will catch it.
Well, it brings up the half-century for the West Indies, and it's taken them 174 balls in just over 2 hours to get to this half-century. So a good stroke at last we've seen this morning, and the crowd, which is getting larger all the time, enjoying the sun and the warmth, have at last seen something to enjoy.
Oh, he's caught at second slip, and Ter Brugge has got Williams for the second time in the test match. The young Gautenger strikes, and the West Indies are 53 for 4. Stuart Williams is gone for 12, splendidly caught at second slip.
A fine delivery, just a little bit of extra bounce and leaving him, and there's that loose shot that we were thinking could happen at any time. Excitement for David Ter Brugge, and West Indies in trouble now, 53 for 4.
That's nicely played, and it'll go for 4. It was just a little bit too full and onto the leg stump, and he picked it nicely off his toes, away backward a square for 4.
Sean Callis trying to get a little bit of extra swing, and it certainly did swing, just moved to the leg side. He must be strong there with that stance, but he did put it away very well indeed.
Edged and down towards third man it'll go, and it gets there. 4 runs, despairing dive. It was along the ground for most of the way, so no real chance, but definitely the outside edge.
Well, Trevor, we've been talking all morning about the logic of having only one slip when the side is in trouble with 4 down. Not that that was a catch, but it certainly, if had been a second slip there, there would not have been a boundary.
It's a poor delivery and dispatch for 4. If you want it to turn away from the left-hander, it's got to land first. 71 for 4.
Well, you haven't seen many of those. A full toss, and well put away by Ridley Jacobs.
That's a beautiful stroke. Long chase for Hansi Cronje. He will haul it in.
And we haven't seen many of those today. The bouncer.
In this case, the non-bouncing bouncer, Lambert. And it's certainly made Lambert do something different. And I don't know that Mr. Cozier, who of course is from the Caribbean, was all that happy with that stroke.
Well, I don't think anyone would have been, but he's just got himself into a little bit of a mental confusion here.
Good over. Interesting, intriguing. And a maiden, 74 for 4. Complete contrast from the figures that he showed in the first innings after 9 overs. Look at this. And beautifully played, I might add. He's got hold of that, it's in the air, and there was somebody under it. And he's wearing a red hat, and he's 8 rows back, so the ball finished 15.
What a remarkable stroke. It wasn't a hook, it was a pickup by Ridley Jacobs. And it went a long way. It certainly came off the middle of the bat.
There's the fella with the red hat. It's the one with the white one that had to take evasive action.
Remarkable shot. Look at that pirouette.
That's well bowled. And what's the decision? Oh, he doesn't have to give one. He's off and gone. I say it was well bowled. It was very well caught.
An extremely good catch by Mark Boucher. I remember Alan Knott taking a catch like that off Derek Underwood standing up. You don't see a keeper very often standing up to a spinner take a diving catch. Might just have carried to first slip. Boucher wasn't going to take that chance. That is a stunning catch, and a crucial one too, because it gets rid of Clayton Lambert, who had hung around for a long time for his 33, and it converts the West Indies into more trouble. 85. Phil Wallace comes out with Carl Hooper. So Hooper's groin strain still affecting him.
Swatted away. Now that would have gone to the backward point, who is currently fielding in the gully, but a bit too short and a little too wide, and nicely played.
Yes, very nicely played, because it did bounce a little bit, but he got well on top of it and played it safely into the ground.
Another full toss, and Pat Simcott's quite cross about it. And the end of the over. 90 now for 5. Whipped away, and misfield there. I say misfield's a little bit harsh. One gets used to such a high standard that when that sort of thing happens, Alan Donald regards it as a misfield, that's for sure.
Yes, he made good ground to his left, but I think just sneaking underneath him. Everyone used to shout Sydney when something like that happened. Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Struck away over mid-wicket. Good shot. 1 bounce 4.
Well, this is a good shot, because remember, his mobility is limited. He doesn't try and hit the ball too hard. He just knows that there's no one out there. There wasn't, there now is. He lofts it out with good timing out into the outfield.
Now that's a dangerous stroke. We've seen that played quite a lot in this game, and it's brought about the demise of 1 or 2 batsmen. Gary Kirsten jumps to mind purely because Jacobs is left-handed, but it's much too close to cut, and the bounce of this pitch is not conducive to that stroke.